Hey everyone, CPAT with another Exceed commentary, and we are really milking this set for everything that it's worth. This is gonna be what, video number 4, part 4. We've turned one tournament set into 4 videos. Maybe that's something we should be doing in the future. Maybe creating more bite-sized content. Let me know if you guys actually prefer the bite-sized content, because this was not a lot of trouble for me to tear up this video into smaller parts, and it's actually easier for the post commentaries for me as well. Just because I'm not sitting for an hour and a half. I don't have to find an hour and a half of time. I just have to find 20 minutes of time to cast a particular game. So it looks like we're gonna have Orie against the Papoline Papolini. Ah, against the Sagat. Against the Sagat. Uh, D also coming in with the custom card back here, really just showing off his character here. I don't know if he's made this. I don't know if this is someone else's creation. I don't know what franchise or what. I'm assuming it's from an anime. I don't know what anime this is from. But yeah, we're gonna see Orie versus Sagat. So like we mentioned in the last video, which I guess we're going immersion breaking here a little bit. How I'm recording these is I recorded 1 and 3 so a little bit of time ago, and I'm now recording 4, and I've yet to record 2. Is the aerial leaping all the way across the board just to hit with focus or try to hit with focus and get crossed out. That is ambitious, but Orie, it's hard to keep out a girl like Orie, uh, just because of her. She has so many different advanced abilities, and then her boosts have advanced abilities. We talked about this in the last video. So I expect Orie to perform decently well against the Sagat. Although the aerial leap into the turn 1 focus, into like double prep, sitting at range 4 against the massive, is a little bit unfortunate. Just like kind of spending the resources really early on, and then not really being able to connect those into proper damage or more resources or anything. As I mean, Sagat is basically initiating the range 3 mix up at range 4, because of the boost on massive increasing range. Opts to strike face down into the superior, to mask maybe a spike at speed 4, which would lose to something like an EX dive at range 5. Of course, Orie also has answers in like succession, for example. It's like EX succession would trade with spike. Not well, but it would. No, it's actually the sweep that will just get blocked. Dive gets discarded for the reading. This is an EX block, of course, because why wouldn't it be? So Orie has 3 armor. This is a 6 power EX sweep, or 6 power regular sweep, excuse me, an extended sweep. So I'm assuming Orie will take the 1 damage here. Yep, discards an assault, takes the 1, loses the value off that superior. Still at range 4 though. Needs to prep. Maybe a face-up Tiger Shot now coming from Sagat. No, instead it's just going to be the Spite. +1 speed, hit, add to gauge. Don't really know what D is doing here. I think the Grimace may be lagging here a little bit for him. And yeah, here comes the first boost. This is, I believe, is a wide. So +1 range, as Zain accidentally draws from the discard here, with a now advance or retreat 1. So this is what we were talking about earlier. All of Orie's special boosts basically have this now advance or retreat 1 clause, which is just that little bit of extra pressure needed, which basically makes zoning impossible against this character, in my opinion. Now, notably, that's funny. D discards EX low step kick to change cards to draw 3. Guess we're not a fan of low step kick here. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a fine card. It's just, I guess it's maybe like telegraphed. It's really telegraphed, but I feel like EX on defense is really sweet. But D says, no, don't want that. Get that garbage out of here. Change cards to. And Orie boosts +1 speed, now advance 1. Notably, these are all on the specials of Orie. So we know that she's losing specials pretty rapidly, and that's something that you're just gonna have to do into these zoner matchups, because otherwise, like, if you don't boost these, you're really just hamstringing yourself. Looks like Sagat maybe gearing up for an EX, a face-up EX assault at speed 7, 5 power. Orie basically wants to be able to trade with this with a focus or a sweep, but of course D will get advantage afterward. So definitely not a bad card to face up there. At speed 7, will basically outspeed anything except that EX Grasp, which is a threat. I don't think there's been a Grasp spent yet by the Orie. Orie is just going to Wild Swing, which is really unfortunate. Does get the sweep, so that's actually really, really fortunate from Orie. Gets the sweep. Actually, Orie also does have an out in the Sacred Arrow as well. So looks like, was Sacred Arrow boosted? Yeah, one copy of Sacred Arrow was boosted for the +1 speed, now advance 1. Looks like Sagat immediately thinking of exceeding here. Taking a step back, of course. So we'll draw 2 first, and then we'll choose to take a step back. And yeah, we'll step back to fully back to range 3. And now back to Orie. Looks like we did not see the exceed side Orie come out from Zain last time. So if we didn't see it last time, I doubt we see it this time. Sad, really sad. And yes, Sagat kind of getting set up as far as he's exceeded now. So now he will get the +1 power boost on face-up attacks as well. Orie boosting that Luminous Embrace again at range 3. This just feels like kind of weird to me. I much prefer boosting at range 1 where there are more low damage options. But no, Orie says, no, I'm going to boost this at range 3. This feels like a ceiling hop on, maybe a 1-3-2-3 because of 1-3-5-3. I don't really know what else it would be. Like, are you masking an assault, perhaps? I'm just saying, okay, I want the extra gauge so I can flip next turn. I hope so. I hope so, because that'll be sweet. Just like Luminous Embrace into assault would be nice. Be cool. This is actually one of those opportunities where EX low step kick, critical EX low step kick would be really sweet from D as a response. I believe that card closes 1. If I'm not mistaken, does it close 1? I don't know. Let me know if it does. I don't remember if low step kick closes 1. I guess I can look it up while we have a little bit of a lull in the action. Let me actually see if I can look it up. Hopefully I don't lose too much gameplay here. Just look at the card database. Of course, now it's choosing not to load properly. And we are going to be looking at Sagat. And does it close 1? Yes, it does close 1. So that critical EX low step kick would have been like a perfect option here. But D apparently does not value that. I guess he's still thinking, D's still thinking on what this could be. Because it is a mix-up technically between like a ceiling hoplon and like an assault, I guess. Could even just be spike. Your total power does become 5. Doesn't really matter too much, but you get it. It's a hit at a gauge. Nope, it is going to be the assault into the sweep, unfortunately. So yeah, 5 power assault. Orie will take 6 back, lose that rest in peace, and here comes the exceed side. Zain knows what's up, sees a 6 and a 7 in there, and says, okay, it's time to go. Unfortunately, a little bit low on resources, only has 3 cards in hand. D obviously says, okay, I'm just going to play the odds. I see 2 assaults left in your deck, 1 ceiling hoplon in your deck. The ceiling hoplon, even if it hits, will only do 2 damage, which is not the end of the world. As we see a QBD coming out from Sagat. Retreat 2, take another action. Or sorry, regain your action. Didn't know that was the wording. Is that the wording? I feel like it was always take another action. I feel like even season 6 says take another action. Why does this card say regain your action? I wonder what the reasoning for that is. Anyway, D gets a second action. Obviously, is the point behind that. Maybe thinking of striking with a face-up card now. Like a face-up Tiger Shot would be pretty mean here, I think. Nope. Here's another just insanely mean boost. +4 speed. Good luck dealing with this, Orie, says D. Although Orie can deal with it in theory because Orie has a bunch of stun immune garbage. The kit full of silver bullets does also have the speed 5 auto dodge, reverse DP, however you want to call it. Although I believe one of those was down, was boosted as the +1 speed, now advance retreat 1. So D says, okay, I'm happy with boosting this now when I think you don't have that card in particular in hand. Probably also doesn't have a ceiling hoplon either. I guess no, ceiling hoplon would be maybe. I don't think it's correct to say that Zain probably doesn't have ceiling hoplon in hand, because he definitely could. I mean, it's only proper to say if you're like card counting and saying, okay, there's only 3 cards left in hand and 15 or so in deck. But you can't really tell based on the plays, I think, because maybe Zain is trying to get as much value out of that ceiling hoplon as possible. Could be accurate. But yeah, obviously the major threat from D here is dive, which would dodge every attack. Spike not so much, but dive with the of course if you advance past the opponent, attacks cannot hit you is the major threat here. That's represented by D, because that will basically just like the spike won't do. Spike normally is a threat. Lets you maintain that close range as well, but of course Orie has a kit of silver bullets, and Spike's not the biggest deal against her. Zain just opts to prepare, and D may be looking to strike here immediately off that. Strikes with the speed 7 spike. Says, okay, do you have the ceiling hoplon in hand? So this is going to be a speed 8, power 6 spike. If Orie has one of her silver bullets, she obviously needs to play it now. Doesn't have it. Sad. Oh, gets the ceiling hoplon. Unfortunately, this is on defense, so it'll only deal 2 damage back. So not as spectacular on defense, obviously, than it is on offense. But I mean, hey. Gets the gauge, gets a little bit of damage going. Actually, no, that kind of sucks. I feel like you'd rather just lose the strike and then have the ceiling hoplon for later. As an offensive move that can deal 7 damage and ignore guard. But not meant to be. Orie finds herself at range 2. We'll strike. We'll make it a 7 power move, and it'll be a 7 power. It'll be a 1/2 7/6. Shades of melee in here. Shades of Cloud Rider. Deal 7 damage. Advances to range 1 as well. Although I have a feeling... Yep, I have a feeling that Sagat's going to cross over, if not move further. Spends 3 force to cross over. Notably, Sagat is down 1 cross. Could have the second one, I believe. No, it's down both crosses. Cross was spent turn 1. So is range 2 far enough, I guess is the question. As Orie just opts to prepare. Doesn't really have a lot of high value cards left in the gauge. Does have a 6er in the form of that sweep, which can be deadly. Has a 4/3/2 though, so those aren't the best cards. Orie hasn't been able to land any spikes or dives to complement that sweep, and has only boosted that 1 Luminous Embrace so far. Maybe a second Luminous Embrace boost would be perfect. Looks like a mix-up coming here. No, wait. Oh, no, not a mix-up. Just a move to range 1. As Sagat spends 2 force in the form of that Tiger Cannon to move back to range 3. Says, range 1 is no good for me at this point in time. Orie, of course, being Orie, has the ability to close. And Orie, of course, being a Season 6 character, has 2 normals that close. And here comes the respect. In response is the terrifying. That's so cool. I feel like I don't see this boosted quite often. It's discard 2 cards at random, and then you may strike. Or I think it's actually you must strike. D strikes with the grasp. Gets focused. Grasp, just a little bit of a bet there. That hey, you don't have a focus or a sweep. Orie says, no, I do. I have it. Down to 7 life. So now like a rest in peace can kill from Orie, interestingly enough. D immediately wild swings. It's a cross. It gets blocked. So 6 power cross. D fortunate to wild swing that block there. For sure. Spends 1 force in the form of that grasp from Gage. Maybe deciding whether to spend a second force to mitigate all the damage. Unfortunately, now there's not a whole lot of value left in that Gage for Orie. Just hasn't been able to land the dives or the spikes necessary to sustain that UA. Has only landed the 1 sweep and the 1 Luminous Embrace. Maybe just hasn't even drawn them. Anyway, Sagat just opts to prep. Actually discards a Tiger Shot from hand, interestingly enough. Now, Tiger Shot as a card doesn't perform well in the late game against Orie because of course, the threat of Luminous Embrace. Attacks at range a billion, I think it's like 5+ don't hit you, I think is the exact text. So it doesn't perform super well into Orie. Sagat just says, okay, let me get rid of that. Is it attacks at range 5 or attacks at range 4? I actually don't remember. This looks like it's back to Orie's turn. I believe Sagat just prepared. Zain just sorting out his gauge a little bit. He's a 2-3-3-4-4, not the best spread. And the thing is, like, if you spend a 4 and play a Rest in Peace, I just feel so telegraphed. You know. And Sagat has ways to miss Rest in Peace just because he has fireballs, like so many different fireballs. Orie just says, okay, I'm just fine. I'm gonna opt to prepare here at range 4. Of course, Sagat is not really super incentivized to play those face-up attacks into Orie, of course, because of her kit, of her kit shapes, basically. Like cards like the auto dodge are no good, no good for Orie at all. No good for Sagat, excuse me. So I doubt we see a face-up strike come out from Sagat at this juncture. Can't really retreat back either, because then suddenly you're just saying, hey, hit me with Luminous Embrace. No, the solution from D is going to be opting for a reading. Looks over that deck size. We're looking at the deck size. It doesn't look very large. Looks quite small. So if this is like a normal, if there's a 2-off normal, then this is fantastic. And even if it's only a 1-off normal, that's still pretty good. As D says, okay, let me see what I'm reading here. I see actually a lot of people do this. I do this as well. Where it's like I identify like a good time for reading, and then I just do the reading before I check what I really want to read. Reading probably like a sweep or something into the critical low tiger shot. Whip, and that sweep. Oh no, it's all gone wrong. That's gonna be a 6 power low tiger shot, 7 power because it was face up. Excuse me, and critical. We are at range 5 where Orie does have that Luminous Embrace. But Sagat, in theory, can just... Oh, no crosses left for Sagat. Huh. Sagat can, like, dive, maybe? Maybe Sagat's holding a dive to counter that Luminous Embrace. Dive would, of course, dodge it, because dive moves into range 2 before Luminous Embrace can go. That was weird. Orie, like, flipped only 1 card. Is Orie going to empower this? No, she doesn't empower it. Here comes the Luminous Embrace. Oh, block is also an answer. I didn't realize that those are left. So it's going to be a 3 power ultra, or sorry, 7 power ultra. Will be probably fully negated by D. We'll close 5. More importantly, though, that 7 power attack goes to gauge. So in theory, Sagat can die here from like a 7 power grasp. That is the power of backside Orie, people. So like let's see if Orie has the grasp, and let's see if D has an answer. I don't know if he has the focus or anything. Orie decides to flip back. I did not see that one coming. I would have expected Orie to want to strike with a 7 power move, but instead it looks like Orie is opting to strike with +2 armor. So is this a slow that Orie is playing? And then, is it Rest in Peace? It is Rest in Peace. Ooh, and called out perfectly by the low tiger shot. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would have much preferred to see Zain strike with a 7 power move. Maybe Zain counted cards better than I did, and saw that like there were multiple outs left to a 7 power or something, anything. I feel like 7 power Rest in Peace was way better than this. Maybe am I like misreading the situation? I feel like a 7 power Rest in Peace was way better than that. But like I said, I haven't been paying attention to card counts or anything. Maybe Zain saw something that I didn't. But and maybe he just didn't have the grasp either. And looks like D striking with a face up Tiger Knee. This is a 6 power move. Can Orie get out of this? Down both crosses, I'm assuming. Don't know how many blocks are left in the deck. Can't really out-trade it because it's 3 speed, so Orie doesn't really have it. Grasp Wild Swing, that's certainly gonna lose. Yeah, D takes it. D takes the game here off that. I guess, okay, so Divine Thrust and Spike were left. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay. So he opted for the 8 armor rest in peace over the seven power rest in peace. I don't know if that was the right call or not. I don't know if D had the block in hand or the focus for that matter. It looks like he had focus left in a deck, so it looks like Zain just opted for that, and that makes sense in that context. But yeah, that was game 4. D takes the set 3-1. Technically, I'm not supposed to know that because I haven't seen game 2 yet, although I do know the result because this match was spoiled like 2 weeks ago. Looks like they're actually like forming the result match thing right now or something. But we're going to cut the video here. I think there's not much more to say. Again, this was a 2-week-old match. Apologies for just getting to it now. But I hope you guys enjoy the content. Let me know if you prefer the bite-sized videos to the long ones. Because I know the long ones can be a little bit daunting. But then at the same time, like, you don't have to skip... you don't have to, like, skip around between videos to see a whole set. You can just see the whole set. Let me know what you guys prefer. Like I said, it's not really the biggest deal for me to split up videos in the future. And I don't mind doing it either way. But congratulations to D, who's now 1-0 in the tournament. Zain goes down to 0-1. It's a Swiss format. You need to be 4-0 to win. So Zain unfortunately cannot win the game, win the tournament anymore. D, however, is still in contention for that. We'll be fighting someone this week. Who knows? Maybe I'll catch that. Maybe I won't. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye bye.